I didn't know that there were bats and ghosts as well. But here they are, so I guess it's true. Hi, and welcome to Quilt Meets World, where we have adventures in piecing and joy. I'm Russ. Come on into my sewing room. Last Wednesday, I did something that I haven't done in quite a while. I played Pokemon Go. I quit the game cold turkey about 2.25 years ago. It was taking up way too much of my life, and it was, starting to get a little ridiculous, and I wanted to get more quilting done. So I had to make a decision. Do I want to quilt or do I want to play Pokemon Go? And I ended up making the decision to drop Pokemon Go. I uninstalled the game with the exception of a couple times, like this year when a certain character was right outside our building at work, and a coworker told me, and I was able to complete that generation's Pokédex. I had the days off last week, and it was gorgeous outside. So I said that I was going to go to the park and see some folks during Raid Hour, which is an event that happens every Wednesday evening. It was amazing. Lots of folks were asking where I've been. In fact, there was one person who came in who hasn't been around for a while, and everyone was asking her where she was been. And I was like, "Yeah, Teresa, where have you been?" And she goes, "Wait a second, where have you been?" It was great. People asked me, where I've been and stuff, and I said, I did tell you that I was going to be doing the quilting stuff after GoFest that year and stuff. I guess they didn't believe me. Uh, for those, few hours that I had the game installed on Wednesday, it reminded me why I needed to get rid of the game. There was way too much going on. It was killing my ADHD. But it was fun doing the raids. I had thought that I was only going to be able to get one, maybe two in. But apparently I had 19 raid passes in my bag, which really surprised me. So I was able to spend the entire hour raiding with folks. That part was fun, especially the last one where I ended up getting a shiny, perfect Giratina. I mean, kind of made a friend of mine jealous, but, that happens. But as I said, there was way too much going on in the game map. There was tons of notifications I was getting, which is because I hadn't played in so long. But there's new things on the maps that were just cluttering things up and just made it difficult to concentrate. So after that little bit of fun, I've uninstalled, or I'm sorry, I've re-uninstalled the app. That's what I'm going to say. After the Pokemon Go fun, I had wings with a friend at one of the local wing restaurants in the area. It was a lot of fun because, well, wings are delish, and it was great catching up with somebody that I haven't seen in a hot minute. Friday, I got to have lunch with friends that I haven't seen in just over a year. If you recall from just over a year ago, I had made quilts and gifted them to friends of mine. One for the baby, one for the mom, and dad was kind of sad and everything. So I went out to the car and got him his quilt that he didn't know that he got, and he was running around and everything and being all excited like a kid. Uh, I was able to, say hi. We had lunch and everything. I did not get to use my line though. If I ever am offered a baby to hold and everything, I end up saying, "No thanks, I'm a vegetarian." Saturday morning was Saturday Sampler at my local quilt shop for the month. They hold it on first and third Saturdays. I'm a third Saturday kind of fella because first Saturday is way too busy. I did do a show and tell. It was the As the Crow Flies quilt from Fort Worth Fabric Studio. I managed to get the binding done on Friday. And let me tell you, I shouldn't rush. Let's just say there's a few places I have to tack down still. I did machine binding, but because I rushed, I kind of missed a few spots, and there's no way to easily fix it because, uh, yeah, when I rushed, I didn't quite have enough room to get it pushed over. So, yeah, that's going to require a little hand stitching so it doesn't look too off. Blurg. Uh, Saturday, at 11 a.m., though, I managed to have a video published showing off all of the awesome stuff that my sister got me for my birthday. That video was kind of minor, though, because the important thing that was happening at that time was my friend Steven's virtual retreat. Steven's retreat was a blast to attend. He had some wonderful presentations that were top notch, let me tell you. I was working on the t-shirt quilt that I've been trying to get on, and I made some awesome progress on it. Between Saturday and Sunday, I got all the piece blocks complete for the t-shirt quilt, which means all I have to do left is the graphic tees that were in there. There's only a couple of those. Can you see what I have done with the t-shirt quilt? Nope. At least not yet. It's for a friend, and he knows the basics of what it's going to be, but he has no idea what it's going to be. I mean, you've done this, you've seen a pattern, but you've also know the fabric, but you don't really know what it's going to end up being. And that's what's going on here. He's not seen anything. I asked him if he wants to see a preview. He said no, so nobody gets a preview. Nobody. It'll be seen soon enough. And speaking of patterns, I just want to say I am so thankful for folks who write and test patterns. I drew this pattern up in EQ8, and I did not plan out my cuts. And I realized while I was cutting that I did a little bit of goofification in my math. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to make up words and I can't even pronounce them right. A couple pieces did get cut wrong, but I caught it early enough that I was able to recover and recut those pieces. If I was smart, and nobody ever said I was smart, I would have mathed out how many pieces of each fabric I needed, since the stabilizer that I had pulled out was essentially a fat quarter size piece of stabilizer. It ended up being 18 by 24, so that was essentially a fat quarter. So yeah, it would have been nice if I had just gone into Excel, drawn out all the pieces, or find something that I could have drawn the pieces on and pre-planned my stuff. But I didn't do that, and that is now a lesson learned for next time that I decide to draw a draw a quilt in EQ8, that I need to make sure that I math out all the cuts, especially with as odd size that some of these cuts were. I will say that the blocks have come out pretty awesome, if I do say so myself. I am right now going back and forth as to whether or not I want to do just a border and butt the blocks up block to block, or whether I will do a sashing, which would then mean no border, because I've only got certain size that I can fit onto the long arm. So it's either I have the borders on the outside, or I move that fabric on the inside and do sashing and cornerstones. I'm going back and forth with what I want to do, and hopefully I will have that figured out soon. So am I still on track with my schedule? Nope. Stabilizing the t-shirts is a lot more work than I thought. It's a lot of probably the fact that I have a cordless iron, so it stays plenty hot for doing pressing of seams, and that, like when I'm doing binding, I don't have to reheat up the iron. But stabilizer requires a lot of extra heat, I did break out my steam press finally, and that helped it go a lot better once I basically re-pressed everything in the steam press. Uh, but back to my whole schedule, I do have some padding. I do have some options that I can push a couple things out. That's what I'm now doing. It's going to be a little bit more of a headache because now stuff that I did not have populated now is getting populated. It still gets me completed before Christmas and before I need to do some stuff shipped, but it also means that some stuff may not get done through show and tell. We'll see what happens with that. As I mentioned last week, it was my birthday week, and I got some really awesome presents. As I said earlier, I did a unboxing video of what I got from my sister, and it wasn't exactly unboxing. I did the unboxing with her on Zoom because she wanted to see my face and stuff. I should have probably recorded that because that would have been a lot better to see my instant reactions and stuff, but this is how it came out, and I'm still excited. If you want to see what she got me, it was incredible stuff. I will have a link in the video description below to that. It was my Saturday video if you want to go look on my channel. Also, I got another package in the mail, which was completely unexpected. Did not have to have this sent to me, but you know, some people just know me so well. In that package was first these assorted snack-sized shapes of Reese's, and I knew that they had Reese's pumpkins, but I didn't know that they had Reese's ghosts and Reese's bats. A comment that I have always made is when people ask me what are my favorite candy bars, it's usually Reese's, but it's specifically the Reese's pumpkins or the Reese's egg or the Reese's tree at Christmas time because it's got a better peanut butter to chocolate ratio. I'm all about the peanut butter filling. The chocolate, I'm like, okay, that's just a method to get me the peanut butter. But when I saw that they had ghosts and bats, I was like, oh, dude. And again, they fit into the perfect peanut butter to chocolate ratio. I also was gifted a Reese's 4-port charging hub where it's got some USB-A ports and a USB-C port. So I'm kind of excited about this. I got to figure out where I'm going to use it. I can see me bringing it into work and plugging it into our little USB thing. And people are like, what is that? So I think I can do that. But I don't normally, you know, do that at work. But I think that's going to be an excellent thing that I should be able to do is just start bringing it out, putting it on my desk at work and have people be like, dude, I like that. I've looked at my calendar and I have a few things on my list to do this week. And, I can share them this time because I actually looked. This Saturday, for my 11Zs, I will be working on my Saturday sampler block for the month. It is a fairly simple block, but I did look before I started recording this video, and I am going to have to run to the quilt shop to pick up a little bit of extra fabric of one of the colors because that's the one that I had to do some extra cutting with last month because I goofed. And I was supposed to remember that that was one of the fabrics that I needed to get more of in the event that it was used in the block. Guess who forgot? So I think I'm going to try to run at lunchtime on Friday to the local quilt shop and say, hey, give me this fat eighth, please. Here's your money for it. And run home because that's going to be the only time I think I'm going to have a chance to. Otherwise, I'm going to find something else to do for my 11Zs. But, at this point, that is the plan. I could also put a different fabric in there because, it is choose your own adventure, but kind of want to trust them more than trusting me because, again, I haven't seen the entire project. For the block that I'm going to be sharing with y'all, because I can't share the pattern, I didn't find something that is very similar, but I figure, here's a close enough block. I mean, it is choose your own adventure, and who says that you have to do the same thing? It's also a simple enough block that you could take a look at the picture and probably dissect it yourself. That's what I have done with many of the other Saturday sampler blocks where I've had most of the fabrics in hand the night before. And like I will do Saturday sampler in the morning and then do my 11Zs live. So I still have everything cut. It's basically because I'm dissecting the pattern. Also, I've said that I've been working on a t-shirt quilt and trying to decide between sashing or borders. Can't exactly do both, but I do have some ideas if I want to go sashing, some ideas if I want to do borders. I guess while I'm at the quilt shop on Friday, I should be able to do a quick run through to see if there's any fabric that catches my eye. I've also started thinking about backings, and I should probably buy local before I buy online if I'm going to be buying anything for backings. Mm-hmm. Also, on this Saturday, I am going to be on my friend Stephanie of Quilting with Stephanie Stitches, her channel, live at 5 p.m. Eastern, working on block 5 of Bumbleberry Pie. I did go look at the instructions this afternoon, and the block seems a little spicy, so I am going to have to make sure I take it slow, whether it be from the cutting to the piecing, making sure that I have things pointing in the correct directions. I do not want to have yet another mishap on a block. But once I get, the pieces done, the spicy section done, the rest of it's going to go fairly easily because you can't get those mixed up. But in a portion of it, you could. So I think it's going to be a fun weekend. Anywho, I think that's going to be about it for today. I hope you were at least a little bit entertained with my weekly shenanigans. If you wouldn't mind doing the things for the YouTube algorithm that it likes, that would be awesome. It's things such as liking the video below, commenting if you have something awesome to say, or even eating some Reese's Ghosts because, they're a thing. Subscribing to my channel is free and is a wonderful way of letting the YouTubes know that you like my shenanigans. Ringing the bell icon next to the subscribe button will get you notified when I go live on Saturday mornings or upload any other videos throughout the week. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and an awesome week. Until next time, stay happy and remember, always measure your life in love. Toodles!